This is Paul Turney, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Now, today we're going to be talking about refugees and the government's approach to refugees. This is not surprising following the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan and the government's attempts to persuade the public that the UK is going to help out. I think there was mention of something called Operation Warm Welcome. Let's see if there really is a warm welcome for refugees in the UK today. It pays time and value to look at in more detail at how the UK's government's approach to asylum seekers has shifted and continues to shift, in my view, away from providing protection to those seeking it, or to deny it, or to criminalise asylum seekers, which appears to be a plan in the offing. The news that's prompted this is that the UK has proposed to settle 5,000 Afghan refugees over the next year and a further 15,000 in the future. That sounds a lot, doesn't it? Well, it's worth looking into the UK's history of accepting refugees and how this compares with the rest of the world. The government has boasted about the high number of refugees it is taking in from Afghanistan, and it is trying to show itself to be an example to the rest of the world. In my view, that's absolutely laughable, but it's worth putting these numbers into perspective so that it's not just a laugh as we all think it is, and that Priti Patel is just trying to pander to public opinion. Indeed, the UK was once a world leader when it came to providing assistance to those fleeing persecution. We have a long tradition of it. We've housed and settled, and they've become part of the UK community, hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers from places as far apart as Hungary, Vietnam and Syria in the last 60 years or so, under large resettlement programs that were a response to shocking events going on at the time. And indeed, Afghanistan must rate as a shocking event in anyone's mind. Indeed, when Idi Amin took over power in Uganda in 1979, the UK welcomed 30,000 Ugandan Asian migrants over a 4-month period. Not 5,000 a year and a cap of 20,000, which would be 4 years, but 4 months. 30,000 people in 4 months. So the news that the UK is taking on between 5 and 20,000 refugees from Afghanistan over a number of years is hardly earth-shattering humane, and will no doubt force genuine refugees into the hands of people smugglers, something that will lead to them being punished by Priti Patel and no doubt putting their lives at risk while they seek protection, and it goes against everything that she says she aims for. Now, let's put things into perspective and let's look at the figures and see how the UK is really doing, and see whether Priti Patel and a right-wing ideologue on the right, Nigel Farage, are right, and the country is overwhelmed by refugees. Let's look at the numbers. The UK currently has 132,000 refugees. That's quite a lot of people. Germany, slightly larger, that has, but not that much larger, 1.2 million refugees. Pakistan has 1.4 million refugees. Colombia, of all places, has 1.7 refugees. And Turkey has 3.7 million refugees. And we've got 132,000 and we're squealing about it. So when we hear right-wing politicians complaining that we are overrun with refugees and migrants, it simply isn't true. It's a lie. But then this government doesn't really have a reputation for probity, as anyone following the news has obviously seen. It's clear, and it's sadly clear, that the UK is no longer the shining example it once was, which is a crying shame, as in addition to the relatively small number of refugees, there are 1 million or so people in the United Kingdom who aren't documented or don't have status and who are never going to be removed from the UK. There's no programme to remove them, but whom the government pretends do not exist, and they live under the umbrella of the hostile environment. So with Priti Patel's Home Office looking for every excuse it can to send refugees away, from forcing them to live in the middle of the Pacific while it processes their claims, to planning to have a naval fleet to illegally remove them back to European countries, it's obvious. One thing stands out. This government really doesn't care about refugees or its reputation internationally really as providing a safe haven, despite all the protestations that the various ministers say. What I would say is that if you are a refugee, or you have no status, or you're a failed refugee and you're looking to make a fresh claim, or you're uncertain about your immigration status, please get in touch with me and I will do my level best to help you. Navigating the Home Office's hostile environment is tough, if not impossible, for most people on their own, and you will need all the help that you can get if you want to either claim asylum, make a fresh asylum claim, or get leave to remain in the United Kingdom. Feel free to contact me or another reputable lawyer if you want help. You will need help to deal with it properly because the immigration system is notoriously complex and there are more rules coming into force on the 1st of October 2021. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Do stay safe. Please keep your families safe. This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers.